The thing is that there's, in many ways, a big difference between religion and enlightenment. Religions are based on certain principles and certain dogmas, which for society as a whole act as guidelines for moral conduct and for a certain spiritual and devotional need. And so religions teach us not to kill, not to steal, not to lie, to be sexually responsible, to love our neighbors, to be kind, to be compassionate, to be patient. They themselves might not do this, but this is what they tell people to do. And everybody, the basic principles of being a good person, I think are more or less universal. Everybody recognizes what a good person is. And this is very important for society and for ourselves and for the karma which we are making, that we are good people. But in itself, it has nothing to do with enlightenment. Enlightenment means to have completely dropped what you might call the small self, this sense of an I as something separate and autonomous, dividing us from all the other little selves around us, this sense of duality, that there is me and then there's the rest of everything which is non-me, which is our basic delusion. And so enlightenment means to therefore come into contact with that level of conscious awareness behind the conceptual coming and going of the thoughts and feelings. Now, what we call that, whether in Buddhism we call that Nirvana or Buddha nature or Dhammakaya, the Hindus call it Brahman and Atman, the Christians call it the Christ within, or God, if you're Eckhart. The Muslims also, among the Sufis, they call it the beloved. All genuine mystic paths recognize that there is a level of awareness which is beyond the ordinary dualistic, time-ridden conceptual mind, which is divine, and which unites us with everything, instead of our ordinary pluralistic mind which divides us from everything. And so when we recognize that level of awareness of our true nature, and we abide in it continually, 24 hours, 7 days a week, then we are enlightened. But most religions don't deal with that. They just try to make you good and believe in their particular dogmas. And this divides religions, because every religion has its own set of dogmas. And so what unites the religion, which is this common reality of understanding that beyond all this, there is something far greater than ourselves, which is our true being, that they don't want to talk about, especially in the West. And only this very divisive kind of dogma, which they call religion. This is why all the religions are at each other's throats. I mean, all religions tell us we have to be good and kind, but then we look at what they actually do themselves, and you can see the hypocrisy of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had another question, if I may. My English is far from perfect.
You're doing wonderful.
I will
it's
try
1,000
to ask.
times better than my Polish.
It could be. I am interested in. You were born in West, so you can tell something about it. Is it possible to be on the West, to be a husband, and to gain some important positive effects with practice in Dharma.
Of course. Why not?
Is marriage a big and important obstacle on that road?
Some of the greatest lamas in Tibet were married and have children. I don't know if you noticed downstairs there was a Tibetan woman. Did you see her as you came in?
Yes.
Her father is a very famous lama. And her great-grandfather was one of the most important lamas of 19th century Tibet. And he had many children, especially many daughters who were very famous. It's not a matter of whether you're married or not married. It's not a matter of whether you're Asian or Western. The question is, do you recognize the nature of your mind? Nature of the mind is not male or female, is not married or celibate, is not west or east. Nature of the mind is just the nature of the mind. So, all that is irrelevant. You know, to recognize that awareness, that consciousness, that knowing behind the coming and going of the thoughts. That has no culture. That has no gender. That just is. And as a husband and as a father, you have the opportunity to practice all these qualities which are so important, like generosity, patience, kindness, compassion, and so forth.
So it could be a good occasion.
It is a perfect opportunity for practice.